Okay, ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on these expensive setups. Yes, those are Frecky's prizes from last year. Commentators, what do we have?
Alright, Kill2 and Darius Johnson here for CO2, that's Circle of 2 versus Red Overlord. Circle of 2 have brought a Balgorn, 2 Abaddons, a Guardian, a Hurricane, 2 Sabers, and 3 Freckies. Freckies, everybody, are a unique ship award from last year. Those frigates, they're like assault frigates, but better. They're worth 10 to 15 billion ISK apiece. We were raving about the flagship earlier in the tournament, worth 14 bill. Each one of these frigates is worth about that much. This is by far the most expensive match so far, probably the most expensive match we'll see all tournament.
And on the Red Overlord side, we have 3 Macarials, a Guardian, a Daredevil, and a Balgorn.
This is just crazy. Freckies, Balgorn on each team, 3 Macarials. I mean, Red Overlord setup we'd be going crazy about if CO2 hadn't brought the Freckies. It's just insane. And these Macarials are armor setup. They got a Guardian with them in the Balgorn. That's unusual. They've been shields for the rest of the tournament. We have Abaddons on this side. This is just the coolest match we've had so far by, like, such a long shot.
One might say it's freckin' awesome.
I think you're right. One might say just that. Actual match stuff, it looks like the Red Overlord teams come in pretty close to the beacon. The Abaddons and the Balgorn come in maybe at 20k, and they're at opposite angles, the CO2 team that is. So not too much range between most of the battleships, and then the support all spread out a little bit further behind that. It's just crazy. A little more, since nobody's seen Freckies before, from what I can tell just in the last 10 minutes of research. This ship is like a little Hugin. It's got a web bonus, it's got a damage bonus, and it has a micro-warp cap use bonus. So just a perfect tackler, not the fight you want to have that in. I mean, the Freckie's amazing at killing other frigates. Probably not going to be quite as useful against 4 battleships, but man, I just can't believe they brought him.
One other thing to note about the Freckie is that it uses the Rifter model, which makes it extra cool.
Yeah, the Rifter model, but plus a bunch of spikes and stuff. It's like even more badass than the normal Rifter. So, match is underway. Little damage already on the Balgorn and on ROL's Macarial.
Yes, it looks like Red Overlord is actually primary the Balgorn, and they're going back and forth, some damage on the Macarial. We have a lot of Warrior 2s out, it looks like, and some armor maintenance spots on the Red Overlord side.
Everyone must be pretty comfortable range-wise. The Abaddon's shooting pulse lasers, but not seeming... Well, now they're starting to move towards the Red Overlord team, but they must be pretty close to within range, 30 or 40k maybe. And the same thing for the Macarials. They're not doing a lot of moving around either. And tank's not really breaking so far. One of those Freckies taking some shield damage already, even though that's not too big of a concern.
Yeah, and on the Red Overlord side, we have a Daredevil that's about to enter structure, and it won't last very long past that. The Balgorn on the CO2 side is at about 25% armor, and one of the Freckies now entering structure. That will be a very expensive loss.
Oh, I can't believe they're going to bring him down. That Daredevil had a tackle on him, and now Macarials looks like have webs and newts as well. He's target painted. He is getting reps from that Guardian. He's pulling him back just a bit, back up to half armor, but you're looking at 14 bill in structure right now.
Yeah, and it looks like the Guardian has done a good job of keeping him alive. So there's at least one pilot here who's breathing a sigh of relief, as the Macarial on the Red Overlord side dips down into 25% armor, and the Daredevil is destroyed.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. I mean, it's maybe their most reliable DPS against a Frig, and now with that Daredevil down, actually, this Freckie able to pick up speed again. I don't know if there's no webs at all on the rest of the ROL team, but with the Freckie or with the Daredevil down, sorry, he's moving again. This Macarial gonna go down from the looks of it for ROL, and that's a big deal, obviously, when you only bring 6 ships. While at the same time, CO2 Balgorn taking a lot of damage too. He's not looking good either. A little race here. It looks like that Mach's gonna go down first.
Yeah, that Macarial has just exploded. The Balgorn is entering structure now. So the Balgorn won, but it's not going to last much longer. It looks like CO2 has switched fire to the Red Overlord Guardian, which is already at about 25% armor. and that's not going to last much longer either.
Yeah, Frecky's got a tackle on him. Laser damage, having no problem getting in. So far, I lost a Macarial and that Guardian and Balgorn down for CO2. Looks like the Freckies are safe for the rest of this fight, unless something weird changes for ROL. I just am so excited they brought those. It's like kind of awesome.
Yeah, it really is great to see ships like that in a tournament. Seeing tournament prizes used to win a fight in the tournament is certainly cool.
So now this Balgorn going to be the next target for CO2. That is CO2 shooting at the ROL Balgorn. He's not doing good. His logistics is down, so it'll only be a matter of time. We heard earlier, the ISD actually gave me a statistic that I don't think was mentioned. Something like when you bring 6 ships to the tournament, you have a 0% chance of winning based on what's happened so far. You bring 7 ships, it gets up to like 30%. 8 ships, it's like 35%. Up to when you get to 10 ships, it's like 65%. So this is just one more example of how filling out your loadout, having that extra tackling, the extra E-War, and the extra damage. Sabres and Freckies doing tons of damage as well as other frigates like Daredevils, and this is just one more kind of testament to that philosophy that you need to fill out your loadout here. As this ROL Balgorn goes down, leaving only 2 more Macarials on the field.
One interesting thing that we forgot to mention, that Balgorn that was destroyed on the CO2 side was a flagship. I'm not sure, I don't have in front of me right now what it was fitted with, but I'm sure it wasn't cheap. And the Freckies are estimated at about 30 billion apiece.
Wow. Yeah, I'd be curious about that fit. We should pull up the sheet, check out the fit on that Balgorn. So much money. There probably won't be another match with this much money involved for, I don't know, I hope there's another one this tournament. It'd be awesome if there was. Flagships definitely kind of opening up the opportunity for that, but yeah, the Freckies, I mean, just making everything else look cheap, almost even the flagships. That second Macarial now hurting pretty bad. He'll be going down pretty soon.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that we won't see another match with this much money on the table until there is a match with more money than this on the table. As the Macarial enters structure, it's going down, and that last, with only the Macarial remaining on the Red Overlord side, it's not going to last too much longer, and this is going to go to CO2. CO2 having lost their flagship, which can now no longer, according to the rules, be fielded in the tournament.
So, this is kind of an interesting situation. ROL, one of everyone's favorites after round 1 when they brought Macarials and a lot of frigs and just dominated, one of the fastest matches we saw in round 1. Now hurting pretty bad for points, actually. They brought down the Balgorn to add to their 125 they got last week, which should be enough to squeak through, but it's really interesting how I feel like a lot of teams today, or not a lot, but in the second bit, ROL and -10 as well, bringing setups that are meant to at least bring down some ships. They have a lot of damage and they're kind of simple. It's just like, we need to bring down something so we get points, and it's not working out at all. They only got 1 ship, so amazing match. Congratulations CO2 winning with those Freckies on the field. I hope we see them later in the tournament, and we'll go to Soundwave.
Thank you very much, guys. That was amazing. That Freckie hovering in structure, I can tell you that everyone on the studio was on their feet, keeping an eye on that 30 billion almost down the drain. Circle of 2 winning, but not cheaply. They did lose their flagship. It cannot be replaced. So a victory, but an expensive one indeed. This match was amazing. The past few matches have been amazing, but we have 4 more coming up today. So don't go anywhere. 4 more matches today, and then we have 16 again tomorrow. So don't make any plans for the weekend. Stay inside. Watch this with us. Buy more EVE accounts. As I said, they're practically free these days. There's a €5 registration fee. We've cut that out. If you can get one of your parents to pay the monthly fee, accounts are practically free. Anyway, we'll be back with the next match, which is Atlas Alliance versus Tormentum at 1940.